My name is Jeffrey Guan. I'm the chair of the delegation to the 2016 General Conference.
My name is Emily Allen, and I am the co-chair of the delegation, and we are here to tell you about the process for constitutional amendments in the United Methodist Church and which amendments we have coming before us at annual conference session.
The United Methodist Church has a constitution found in the first part of the United Methodist Book of Discipline. Paragraph numbers 1 through 99 are reserved for the Constitution. The process for amending the Constitution is found in paragraph 59. Amendments can be made to the Constitution through legislation submitted to General Conference. The proposed amendment must receive a 2/3 majority vote at General Conference and a 2/3 majority vote of the aggregate of votes in all annual conferences. That means every vote, your vote, counts.
General Conference delegates had their say last year, and 5 amendments received the required numbers of votes at General Conference. Now it's up to annual conference voters to determine whether those amendments will become part of the United Methodist Church's Constitution. The voting started at the Liberia Conference in February and will continue through early 2018. The Council of Bishops will certify the results after the voting concludes.
The full text of each constitutional amendment will be in our legislative packets on the annual conference session webpage. They will be presented during plenary with time for questions if needed. We cannot propose any changes to the wording, as the wording has already been approved by General Conference. We will use paper ballots to vote so that our vote counts may be recorded and sent on to join the tallies of all the other annual conferences.
The 5 proposed amendments address matters of gender equality, inclusiveness in membership, delegate and bishop elections, and bishop accountability. Here is an overview of the amendments in the order we will vote on them at annual conference session.
The first amendment is a new addition to the Constitution that declares, quote, "Men and women are of equal value in the eyes of God," end of quote. It goes on to say that maleness and femaleness are characteristics of human bodies, not the divine. It also asserts that the United Methodist Church will, quote, "seek to eliminate discrimination against women and girls, whether in organizations or in individuals, in every facet of its life and in society at large," end of quote. The amendment, if ratified, would become the new paragraph 6, coming right after a similar paragraph about racial justice. General Conference approved the measure by a vote of 746 to 56.
The second amendment would add language to paragraph 4 on inclusiveness of the church. The amended language would add gender, ability, age, and marital status to the list of characteristics that do not bar people from membership in the church. Specifically, the amended paragraph 4 would say that no member shall be, quote, "denied access to an equal place in the life, worship, and governance of the church because of race, color, gender, national origin, ability, age, marital status, or economic condition," end quote. Groups within the church, such as United Methodist Women, youth groups, and singles ministries, may still keep their exclusivity. The vote at General Conference was 509 to 242. The amendment has the support of the General Commission on the Status and Role of Women, United Methodist Women, Discipleship Ministries, and the Disability Ministries Committee.
The next amendment is to paragraph 34 and specifies that elections of delegates to General Conference as well as jurisdictional and central conference meetings will include open nominations from the floor at annual conference sessions. The measure also calls for the election of delegates, quote, "by a minimum of a simple majority of the ballots cast," end of quote. The author of this amendment noted that the current wording around delegate elections is, quote, unduly vague in some cultures and without a democratic tradition, end of quote. General Conference supported the amendment by a vote of 767 to 22.
The Fourth Amendment is to paragraph 46 and states that central conferences are to elect bishops at a regular, not an extra session of the Central Conference, quote, except where an unexpected vacancy must be filled, end quote. The amendment aims to treat bishop elections in the Central Conferences, church regions in Africa, Asia, and Europe in much the same way they are treated in U.S. jurisdictions. General Conference voted for the change by 621 to 15.
The final proposed amendment is to paragraph 50 and says that General Conference can adopt provisions for the Council of Bishops to hold individual bishops accountable. Currently, any complaints against bishops are handled in the jurisdictions or central conferences where they are elected, and the Council of Bishops has no further input. General Conference approved the amendment by 715 to 79.
Now that we have shared the process and the basic purpose of each proposed amendment, Jeffrey and I would like to take a moment to share a few personal passions and concerns around these items. I sit on the board of the General Commission on the Status and Role of Women and previously served on the Division on Ministries with Young People, and I have a passion for the proposed additions to paragraph 4, which include gender, age, ability, and marital status among the list of qualities we will not use for discrimination in our churches. The amendment to paragraph 50 was proposed in response to the outcome of a complaint filed against retired Bishop Melvin Talbert. The complaint was resolved by the Western Jurisdiction College of Bishops, and some people in other regions were not satisfied with the outcome and wished for the whole Council of Bishops to have a say in the accountability process for individual bishops. Legislation was passed at General Conference, pending the adoption of this amendment, to make it possible for the Council of Bishops to do just that.
Having been in theological education and have served the General Church for some time now, like Emily, I want for us to continue to work toward increasing inclusivity within our United Methodist Church. I share her passion for the additions in paragraph 4. In our part of the world, we take gender equality for granted. The truth of the matter is that there are cultures and ethnic groups where discrimination against women and girls still exists. As a denomination that has become more global, the First Amendment ensures that gender equality is affirmed and embraced throughout the entire denomination. Since the amendment to paragraph 46 pertains to the election of bishops in the central conferences, we may think that it has nothing to do with us in the United States. That may be true. The proposed amendment seeks to regularize the election of bishops in the central conferences and bring them more in line with how the jurisdictional conferences in the U.S. elect our bishops. Our vote is important to make this change.
Thank you for your interest in the constitutional amendments coming before us at annual conference session and for taking the time to learn more about them. If you have any questions, please reach out to either of us or the California-Nevada Conference Office.